After the end of the 4th dynasty period in 2498 BC, the 5th dynasty period began. Pharaohs of the 5th dynasty made less effort in pyramid construction compared to the previous period, and the main reason for this was the economic crisis. Due to the increasing interest in gold, silver, copper, and other precious metals, Egyptians began to build ships suitable for the open sea for the first time during this period. In addition, direct trade between Egypt and the Aegean Islands and Anatolia also began during this period. With the beginning of the 6th dynasty period in 2345 BC, pyramid construction gave way to temple construction. Pharaoh Pepi I, like the pharaohs before him, launched a campaign against Nubia and succeeded in taking control of the northern part of the region. After Pepi I lost his life, his son Pepi II ascended the throne at the age of 6 and became the owner of the longest reign in Egyptian history, exactly 94 years. During the periods when the pharaoh was a child, provincial governors acting on their own caused the central authority to gradually weaken. As trade, agriculture, and animal husbandry were affected by this situation, the economy deteriorated further and the royal treasury began to shrink day by day. Although Pepi II organized many expeditions to the Levant region to fix this situation, he was unsuccessful in all of them. This failure caused the already poor economy to completely collapse. After a while, the people began to be unable to pay their taxes, and famine even broke out across the country. Guards began to forcibly collect food from peasants, and the peasants responded by arming themselves. As a result, a situation of insecurity and chaos prevailed throughout the country. With the death of Pepi II in 2184 BC, local rulers who seized power divided the country into Lower and Upper Egypt as before. Thus, the Old Kingdom period came to an end and the process known as the First Intermediate Period began. This 129-year intermediate period, marked by wars and internal conflicts, was ended by Mentuhotep II of the 11th dynasty. Mentuhotep reunited Lower and Upper Egypt in 2055 BC and initiated the Middle Kingdom period. The pharaoh, known to be of Theban origin, moved the capital of the country back to Thebes. The successful pharaoh took measures against nomadic attacks that had begun to pose a threat at the borders, strengthened the central administration by restricting autonomous administrations in the provinces. He then marched on Nubia, famous for its gold mines and quarries, and reincorporated this region into Egyptian territory. Unable to understand why settlements in the country had been limited to the vicinity of the Nile River for centuries, the pharaoh began working on zoning plans. Thus, residential construction began to spread over a wide area for the first time in Egyptian history. Mentuhotep II, who brought Egypt back to its former glorious days and remained on the throne for a full 51 years, died in 2009 BC. His sons who followed him failed to make a significant impact, and the throne passed to the 12th dynasty in 1991 BC. Amenhotep I, the first pharaoh of the 12th dynasty, decided to move the center of the country from the city of Thebes by founding a new city named Amenhotep just south of the former capital Memphis. He declared it the new capital of the country. When Senusret II, who came after him, ascended the throne in 1897 BC, he completely seized the Sinai Peninsula and advanced as far as the gates of Syria. He expanded the Nubian border in the south and the ancient Libyan border in the west. He also carried out intense commercial activities across a vast region stretching eastward into Mesopotamia and in the Mediterranean to Crete and the coasts of Anatolia. During his approximately 20-year reign, the Egyptian treasury was refilled and the country returned to its former days in terms of prosperity. The kings of the 12th and 13th dynasties who ascended the throne after the death of Senusret II failed to sustain the success he had achieved. On the contrary, due to negative conditions such as political instability caused by short-lived reigns, weakening of the central administration, and deterioration of border security, the country was once again dragged into chaos. After control was lost across the country, members of the 14th dynasty began to gain influence in Lower Egypt, and the country was once again divided into Lower and Upper Egypt. After a while, as a result of a wave of migration from Syria, the Hyksos defeated the Egyptians and occupied Lower Egypt. The Egyptian people never accepted the Hyksos who came from Syria and regarded them as wild barbarians from Asia. The main reason for this was that the Hyksos were engaged in theft and plundering at that time. This period of chaos between 1700 and 1550 BC is referred to as the Second Intermediate Period. King Thutmose I of Egypt, who continued to rule in Thebes, began to fight against the Hyksos. During a series of wars, the Egyptians used the chariot technology they had learned from the Hyksos against them, and the conflicts were resolved in a short time. King Thutmose I captured Avaris, the capital of the Hyksos, and drove the Hyksos as far as the region of Palestine. Subsequently, by reunifying Egypt under a single rule, he initiated the New Kingdom period in 1550 BC. This New Kingdom period, during which Thebes once again became the capital, is considered the era when Egypt reached the peak of its power and wealth. After driving the Hyksos as far as Palestine and burning and destroying cities, Thutmose annexed this region to Egyptian territory. Then he launched a campaign against Nubia, which would become a classic endeavor for Egyptian pharaohs. By capturing all of Nubian lands, Thutmose became the first king to extend Egypt's borders this far south. This success of Thutmose would also serve as an inspiration for the pharaohs who would come after him. After the death of Thutmose I, Amenhotep I ascended to the Egyptian throne. Although the new king continued campaigns as in Thutmose's time, he was not very successful. Thutmose I, who ascended the throne in 1510 BC, defeated the Mitanni Kingdom and extended Egyptian territory as far as the Euphrates River. After his death, his son Thutmose II ascended the throne but died after ruling for only 2 years. Thutmose II left no male heir behind, nor did he have any children at all. For this reason, his sister Hatshepsut seized the throne, marking a first in Egypt, and became the first female pharaoh of ancient Egypt. Because she was a woman, Hatshepsut had great difficulty in gaining acceptance from the Egyptian people. In fact, at the beginning she had herself depicted as a man in many reliefs and statues. For Egypt, a closed society, this was a change that was difficult to accept. However, with her successful policies, Hatshepsut managed to remain on the throne for more than 20 years. She even launched a naval expedition against Punt and returned from this campaign with great spoils. During her reign, for the first time, strong control was established over all of Egypt. However, unfortunately, because female rule was not embraced in Egypt, most records of this successful period were erased and attempts were made to make it forgotten. Indeed, after a 20-year reign marked by systematic discrediting, she died in 1458 BC and Thutmose III ascended the throne. The reign of Thutmose III became a period during which Egypt once again struggled with enemies. The number of campaigns increased, and efforts to maintain stability intensified. The Mitanni Kingdom, which had previously been defeated during the reign of Thutmose I, re-emerged as a power against Egypt. Thus, we leave behind one of the most turbulent yet equally fascinating periods of ancient Egypt. We witness the rise of Hatshepsut, a female pharaoh who defied history, the attempts to erase her legacy, and Egypt's return to an era filled with wars during the reign of Thutmose III. In this episode, we observed how power, tradition, intrigue, and conquest became deeply intertwined.